Hey bitches, welcome back to my channel. I'm currently sitting here with, y'all already know, it is 1 o'clock in the morning, and I think in an hour it's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning because of daylight savings time. Isn't this the last time that we have to do it? Did they actually get rid of it?
Allegedly, I heard that they were gonna get rid of it for good. Hopefully they do, because we need more sunlight.
It always me up. Every single time it happens, it messes me up.
It's the worst, and I'm already tired anyway.
Well, the first thing that I want to talk about is, of course, Brittany Dawn, because there is a breaking news story going on right now. Brittany Dawn is apparently under another evil attack. Somebody is coming after her because her TikTok account that had 1.3 million followers has now been banned.
Looks like Brittany Dawn is going through another attack of the enemy because, look, her account that's her. That is a real Brittany Dawn account has been finally banned after 1.3 million followers. She's finally banned on TikTok. Wow.
Nobody knows the official reason, and a lot of people are thinking maybe it was just from like mass reporting, and they think that she's gonna get her account back, but she actually removed it from her link tree as well. So a lot of people are thinking that maybe she's just done with the platform. Maybe they told her, you're not coming back, bitch. I just wanna throw my theory into the ring as to why her account could have been banned, and I think it has something to do with her putting the foster children that she has all over TikTok, because that's a huge no-no.
Oh, well, we all know that whatever social media platform she comes back on, she's gonna say she's under demonic attack, that they're coming for her, they've taken her platform.
The haters are coming after her, all the lies that are being told about her in videos and on TikToks.
I wonder if she's gonna come back to YouTube. Has she uploaded to YouTube? That's the one thing that I have not looked for.
The only thing I see from Brittany Dawn, because I am still subscribed because we talk about her, is she does the same thing that that one account for Mikayla does. They just upload all the TikToks over here as well as Reels. But I do wonder the real reason as to why her account was banned. It has to be something big if she's removing it from the link tree. I'll tell you what, the devil must be working hard, because there is no way that Brittany Dawn is going to be able to spread the word of God to that level anymore. 1.3 million followers. I don't think she has that over on Instagram. How is she gonna grift? How is she gonna get the word out about those conventions that she does?
It's gonna be really interesting to see how she comes back from this and how she addresses it if she doesn't get her TikTok back.
We are gonna send out some positive energy to anybody out there that has been wronged, scammed, or just anything by Brittany Dawn for this win, technically, because she's not able to do the grift over there anymore, and a lot of people were thinking that she was grifting with the foster children.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, those foster kids, like, that thing is gonna be completely done after the trial is over. And since we're on the topic of TikTok, it seems that we are getting closer and closer to what people think is going to be TikTok getting banned completely in the United States. This is freaking people out for a lot of reasons, but more so, it's starting to really freak out these influencers over on TikTok. I've seen countless videos over on TikTok of them trying to direct people over to other social media platforms. It comes at a very bad time for them, actually, because I just heard that Instagram Reels as well as Facebook Reels are going to be demonetized.
This is really interesting to me that these people are so hell-bent on getting rid of TikTok, because TikTok is connecting people like we've never been connected before. We've had chat rooms, we've had YouTube, we've had Vine, Musically, it used to be TikTok, but TikTok is now the big it factor for a lot of people to be connected, and we're getting news that we wouldn't necessarily get from the news on the TV.
Everybody's talking about TikTok and the ability of that platform to be used by the party both to take on data, but also potentially as a malign influence and propaganda tool. We need a more comprehensive approach to evaluating and mitigating these threats posed by these foreign technologies from these adversarial nations. The Restrict Act would give the Secretary of Commerce the authority and the responsibility to identify and counter threats from foreign technology products and services in the U.S. A series of mitigation tools given to the Secretary up to and including the opportunity to ban. Truth is, with 100 million Americans daily on TikTok on an average of 90 minutes a day, this is an issue.
And this man said that it's basically alarming that people spend over 90 minutes a day on TikTok. It's not an issue for people to spend over 90 minutes a day watching Fox News, MSNBC, or CNN. So I don't really understand the problem with TikTok.
I'm just sitting here thinking, when he said people spend on average 90 minutes, I'm thinking about my TikTok consumption per day, because I'm constantly over there. It goes way above and beyond 90 minutes.
What my screen time
it
would
has
be
to
on
be like
TikTok.
5 hours for me. That's sad. That's sad. Ban it. and take it away. It's ruining people's lives.
I feel like this is another way to separate people because there's not another app that's so readily available to people to put information out into the world. And there's a lot of things that people have hypothesized and made conspiracy theories about on TikTok that have actually come true. And in my opinion, I think that's alarming to them because they can't control the information on TikTok. And I think that that's a big reason why they want to get rid of it.
Well, I do think that TikTok is a very shady company, but I'm also going to throw in that I think that a reason why, on top of it being shady and on top of them trying to say that China is spying with it, which I do believe that they are, I also think that the government, so many people are on TikTok every day consuming all of this news. A lot of people get their news from TikTok. I know that sounds like so crazy to say, but it's also a way to kind of censor that because they don't want a lot of these stories that are getting called out because there have been so many different like politicians that have been called out by certain things on TikTok. It's kind of just hasn't been so good for them.
If it were not for TikTok, this whole East Palestine thing that went down in Ohio, where all of these thousands of people are affected by this chemical spill, a lot of people wouldn't know about it because the news just was simply not talking about it. They were not giving it airtime. They didn't want to talk about it because there's so many elite people in that top 1% that benefit from all of these companies that are owned by like BlackRock and Blackstone and all that different shit. So,
but speaking of people that would possibly be happy if TikTok was actually removed, there's a lot of people over on TikTok talking about how these OG beauty influencers from YouTube are all throwing shade in some way and seem kind of bitter about the new wave over on TikTok.
Why have all the old YouTube beauty influencers like recently made a resurgence? And I feel like instead of trying to expand their TikTok community, they've decided that all the other TikTok beauty influencers just aren't good enough and they're all like trying to discredit TikTok beauty influencers. The way that I forgot to put my brows on first. Okay. I feel like instead of creating their own space, they decided that they had to take space away from the TikTok creators. But it's only the ones that were like taken down during all the Dramageddons that I feel like have been doing this, have been starting their posts off very sarcastically, very snarky, and like just instantly trying to insult other people and then going into their very real review that they definitely don't make any money off of. Because like Nikki Tutorials, Jackie Aina, they're both out here doing the same kind of stuff that they've always done, just on TikTok now, and I think it feels very genuine, true to themselves, and they're just like, that's what they're doing. They're creating their own spaces and, you know, letting other people have their own spaces too. But like Jeffree, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, I've seen them promoting like being real, being their honest selves. But to be honest, it's coming off as extremely fake. And it's hard to say which of these people even really deserve a platform at this point. But they still have one anyway, and like that's just something that's a truth that we can all agree on. I just wish they would do their own thing to get our attention instead of just trying to like entice the drama in the community, you know what I mean? But I also want to add, I know there is stirred up drama in the TikTok makeup community already, and I hear the points that they're trying to make with being honest and not like selling yourself out all the time. TikTok has its own problems, I understand. But I'd like to see something different from these creators. I just wish some of the OG YouTubers would take their own advice and gain their following and gain our interest by just being themselves and letting their own personality shine without it being in such like a negative way. So you know what, I guess I have to agree with them. This app just needs more genuine people.
A lot of them do come off like they're a little bit jealous because all these people are getting the deals, and now maybe not so many people are over here on YouTube looking to be like, hey, let's put some money into this YouTube video.
1,000,000%. If you watch Manny and Laura on full coverage, they 100%, in my opinion, dog out beauty influencers that are on TikTok. Because if you listen to what they say and how they say it, they give us these grandiose analogies and different things that they've done in the beauty space. And they act like these TikTokers, what they do will never compare.
Well, according to them, they did pave the way for all these people over on TikTok. But you also have to look at Jeffree, because when he was doing that whole thing with Mikayla over the LashGate, he loves to make it a point that he was the one that everybody turned to back in the day. He's like, Miss Ma'am, I used to be the one that did this. Jeffree Star approved, that was everywhere, blah, blah. Tooting his own horn, and rightfully so. I mean, it's an accomplishment that he did have. But he does like to throw that in just to let everyone know, like, I did this, guys, don't forget about me.
I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens if TikTok does get banned. For Jeffree specifically, since he said he's not coming back to YouTube, if they take TikTok away, then then what's going to happen? Are we not going to hear from Jeffree Star
I think
anymore?
that he'll do Instagram.
Is he just going to like fade off into obscurity?
No.
I don't think that Instagram is that girl anymore. TikTok is that bitch. I'm telling you, I don't think that people are going to migrate to Instagram the way that people are saying that they are. I think that they're going to come to YouTube. That's going to be their only option to make a sustainable living, in my opinion.
I really don't understand why a lot of people that are on TikTok that have a really large following, I'm talking like millions of people, why they have not ever come over to YouTube and tried to build something over here, because it does take a lot longer on YouTube to build an audience.
It does.
So we have to do this update about the Kardashians and the Jenners, because the other day we were talking about how they're probably not getting invited over to the Met Gala this year by Anna Wintour.
Such a shame.
Well, there are a lot of TikToks going around, and there's actually a compilation of people that are canceling the Kardashians and letting you know exactly why.
This is the end of an era for this family.
Because people are starting to get over their shit. No one's caring anymore about their flex of a lifestyle. We're kind of all looking at them sideways the more they flex in this economy. Are you kidding me? But also they're just losing the it girl ick factor that they used to have. They used to be known for setting trends. Now everything they do just seems so over it, produced, annoyed, fake, weird,
It's an end of an era. The first one, they are no longer relatable. There's nothing relatable about Kylie Jenner posting her $30 million wardrobe, closet, whatever you want to call it, with all these Hermes bags.
For me, what was really the final straw was with Kylie posting the pic with Travis Scott being like, my jet or yours. There was something I literally had to look away from my phone. Like nausea.
How the Kardashians are like coming down. They're like losing their influence. I can see that. People are kind of talking about how they've, I don't want to say failed, but they're having a harder time like keeping up with this new wave of like media and this new generation.
So what is causing the downfall of the Kardashians? Because just a few years ago, they were at the tip top of pop culture. If you ask me, I believe Kim Kardashian cursed herself by wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress. This was the moment where everything started going downhill for the Kardashians. Ever since Kim Kardashian put this dress on, we've just lost interest in them.
The Kardashians and the Met Gala. So page 6, aka the Bible, lol, says that the Kardashians won't be attending the Met Gala. So now we're in a situation where people want a Kardashian intervention. I talked about that on my podcast, and I'm going to be talking about this on my podcast too. And we're in a situation where people want a Kardashian cleanse.
My other prediction I have is just about the Kardashians in general, is that it's going to be the downfall of the Kardashians.
I agree with you, and I think that they will all make a last grasp to stay relevant.
To stay relevant, yeah. Because honestly, like, as culture shifts, I feel like we're craving more and more authenticity, and we're not, like, we don't really give a fuck about the shit that they're selling. We don't give a fuck about their cars or their wealth, you know, like, good for them that they have it, but it's just like, I feel like if you can't really relate to it, like, what's the point of watching it? Like, people want to see something real. They want to see something they can relate to.
Yeah.
And I feel like I see the shift on TikTok already. So.
Okay, so did you see all the shit about the Kardashians? How people are saying, like, it's the end of their empire because they're not relatable. Like, they can't even get on TikTok and, like, all that shit. So that has been, like, a huge debate where, like, they aren't relatable anymore. They, like, don't get the trends. And now Kim Kardashian is trying so hard on TikTok. So hard. It's so bizarre. It's like reversed. It's like, this is bigger than being a celebrity now.
But there are people out here that think that the reason that Kim Kardashian is in like so much hot water all the time now, and people are like really not caring about what she has to say, and the influence is slowly fading, they think it's because she wore Marilyn Monroe's dress, and now Marilyn is cursing her. But we're gonna send out a little bit of energy to Marilyn Monroe, because I'd be upset too if I was under the impression when I wore a dress that it was a one of a kind, it was made for me, it was sewn onto my body, and then this bitch comes along and she just all of a sudden has to wear it. Like, no, bitch.
I can guarantee you one thing, and that is that Kris Jenner is probably scrambling because they've never had an issue like this before. Engagement with the Kardashians has always been very high, and they've always been at the forefront of trends. A lot of people have watched them for the things that they wear. A lot of people have watched them for the relationships that they're in, and I just think that people are over it because it's not relatable. People do want relatable content, and the Kardashians are just not relatable. Kim getting a Tesla that has like fur on the outside of it is not relatable to people.
Yeah, that was like a trend going on in California with the celebrities. They were all getting furry cars. I don't understand that. I know that it barely ever rains over in California. Oh my God, with the storms they've been having over there, they're probably all well, I saw a few TikToks today where they say the war is still going on between Kylie Jenner and Selena Gomez because the first photo that Kylie posted when she came back to social media after the whole cancellation thing was going on was an ad of her. She's like the face of Dolce & Gabbana now.
Oh,
now,
God.
back in the day, one of the designers from Dolce & Gabbana commented on a photo of Selena Gomez and did not have nice things to say. So they were like, oh, she's trying to shade her now. So you know how we've been on Jacqueline's ass about this whole alleged abduction thing that happened to her? They're pulling tweets where Jacqueline responded to people that were having doubts back in 2021 when this allegedly happened to her. Well, Jacqueline's original tweets about the situation said, I seriously had one of the scariest experiences of my life last night. Two guys were literally trying to physically pull me into their car while I was alone outside. Thank you, Jesus, that I'm okay, but that was so traumatizing. And then she said, I'm going to tell you guys what happened in detail later today on my Instagram story, so hopefully it never happens to you. I'm still so shook up right now, and it's bullshit. Women have to be scared of these things. Well, when somebody was doubting her over on Twitter, and I completely forgot that she even said this, quickly those two guys turned into one. So I don't know where the second one went. I don't know where he ran off to. But she said, the fact that you think I lied about that man grabbing me lets me know that there is a 100% chance we would not get along in real life. And girl, I'm here to tell you we would not get along in real life because you are full of shit.
Here's my thing, okay? Jacqueline Hill
is full of shit.
Here's my thing though. If there was an incident where Jacqueline Hill was almost pulled into a car by two men, there would be an incident report. I don't know about you, but if somebody tried to pull me in their car, I'm gonna call the police and file a report. You know, if there was a report out there, somebody would have already had it and it would have already been all over Reddit. It's nowhere to be found. I'm not buying this. I do not believe that that happened. Jacqueline Hill has talked extensively in the past about human trafficking and how it's so near and dear to her heart. It's not crazy in my mind to think that she would concoct a story to get people talking about her, because Jacqueline Hill is one of those people that has to be the center of attention all the time.
It makes you wonder what else was going on around that time. Like, what other drama was she in? Was this around the time that she was getting called out for those? Correct me if I'm wrong about this down in the comment section. I'm sure that somebody will remember. But wasn't this around the same time that Jacqueline was getting called out for that like piss poor shade range?
I believe it was.
Huh.
It's right. It's always, everything is
crazy.
right on time when it comes to
That's
Jacqueline.
so crazy.
It's almost like she has a story prepared for any narrative that could come out about her. She always has a way to deflect, reject, perfect. I don't know, but there's always a story. All I know is I think the only two friends that Jacqueline Hill has is Ben Franklin and Ulysses Grant. And I think that that's the two people that probably tried to pull her in the car that night. That's what I think.
Well, I do think that we need to send some energy out into the universe of these two men that allegedly tried to snatch Jacqueline Hill out that one random time that she was outside alone. Because I honestly hope that they do get their karma, because they just can't be out there snatching people and trying to traffic them. That's awful. I would send some energy out to Jacqueline Hill, but honestly, these bowls are expensive and I don't want one of them to crack.
You better be careful, girl. She's gonna see that and it's really pretty. She's gonna try to copy that. She's gonna steal your idea.
She's gonna steal, like how she allegedly stole that brand Cozy. And people online are starting to notice that Jacqueline Hill and her team have not posted anything on the Cozy Instagram or social media since the launch of her like restock and that robe that came out.
Haven't.
Well, I can't name any other businesses off the top of my head that have a launch and then just like ghost social media completely. But you would think that as a company, they would see people getting their orders. I'm sure like the 3 people that bought that robe, they probably are trying it on over on Instagram. They're tagging the brand, they're tagging Jacqueline. You think they would give like a little customer appreciation and repost it? But it's honestly, I feel like it's expecting too much from Jacqueline Hill.
I think that Jacqueline Hill is going to be in for a really rude awakening, because she's making all these high-end products. Yeah. What she's really doing though is she's making low-end quality products with high-end prices, and people just are not buying that anymore. We are literally on the verge of an economic collapse, and Jacqueline Hill wants to charge how much for a freaking robe?
I think there were 2 robes that Jacqueline Hill released. I think that one was like $80 and then the other one was like $125, I think.
And then you couple that with her making a wedding jewelry line
that she's not gonna wear.
That she's not gonna wear in her wedding, and basically saying that it's good enough for your wedding but not hers. Jacqueline Hill is the elitist.
Yeah.
She started the elitist movement on YouTube when she started using the Tom Ford and all that different shit that normal people just cannot afford or didn't want to spend money on. Jaclyn Hill was one of the first people the discourse started with out-of-touch influencers and them being unrelatable. And I think that she's going to have a hard time adjusting to that because she's going to be just like the Kardashians. Like I said, she's modeled her whole career after the Kardashians.
It's crazy how a lot of influencers go from extremely relatable to not relatable. I understand when you start making more money, obviously your taste is going to change because you're able to afford things that you couldn't afford before. Totally get it. But when every single item in your life has a designer name on it and there's a designer price tag along with that, it's a bit ridiculous and your audience does lose interest.
There are people that get out there and they make tons of money and then they suddenly become unapproachable. They're unrelatable.
Speaking of people who have a ton of money and they just become so unrelatable, did you hear about this guy that won like $2 billion in the lottery? When I saw this story going around, I was like, this guy is a idiot. Won that amount of money, you should always do that in private. You do not want to broadcast that out to the world. First of all, you're going to have everybody coming out of the woodwork. People you didn't even met before are going to claim that they knew you back in the day. But he's bragging all over social media. He wants everybody to know the house that he bought. I think that he just dropped like $25 million on a house in the hills.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is a life lesson that I learned from somebody that's very smart. If you ever win a substantial amount of money, open an LLC and claim it under the LLC. That way nobody knows who won it.
Well, you hear so many stories of people that win large sums of money in the lottery. In a few years, it's completely gone. Some of them are even homeless.
You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have good money management skills, you will burn through it. And people that win mass amounts of money like that most likely have not had a lot of money in their life, so they just think they have to run out and buy everything, which is bad.
And moving on from that, Mikayla is up to her tricks once again because we all honestly thought that we were done with LashGate. We thought that it was like packed away, put in a box, like shoved into the corner. But Mikayla, who claims that she does not like drama channels and she does not like the fact that people are talking about her on social media, is up to her tricks once again because she just posted a video doing her mom's makeup. But in this video, in my opinion, she kind of admitted that she did use the L'Oreal mascara with the Ardell Wispies.
A lot of people say I look a whole lot like my mother. I'm 24, she's 64. So what would happen if I did my makeup routine on my mom? Let's see what it looks like. So I'm starting with the brows, NYX brow glue. Now she doesn't really have much eyebrow, so I had to do some magic here to make them look like mine. It took me a lot of time, but I did it. All right, now we're going to go on to the base. I'm going to underpaint. This is Tom Ford. She's got to be really bronzy. That's key. This was my first time trying the Givenchy concealer, and holy shit, it looked immaculate on my mother. Like, her under eyes looked plump and hydrated, and there was no creasing. So I was really impressed with this concealer, and I cannot wait to use it on myself. But I let her take that home, because damn, it looked good on her. So if you have mature skin, that's a good one for you. So I'm using it to highlight certain areas of the face. Now I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, one of my favorite drugstore foundations, and I'm going to give her a light coverage because her skin is freaking perfect already. All right, here's the skin. Doesn't it look like mine, but like an older version? I generously applied bronzer all over the face, and then I'm going to bake with the Estee Lauder loose powder and a powder puff. This will just brighten everything up and really lock everything in. No, we got to hit it home with the blush. Now, genetically, I was not blessed with these beautiful ocean blue eyes, but I'm going to use a blush color that's really going to make those eyes pop. I mean, come on, she's already starting to look like an older version of me. Do not forget the ears, guys. Never forget the ears. Okay, now we're going to move on to the eyes. I'm using a Huda Beauty palette. I'm going to apply some P. Louise base. Now, the skin under the eyes and the eyelids is the thinnest, so that's what she's experiencing drooping, as you can see. But I'm going to work with that. You can see she still has a crease. I'm adding a pretty transition color in the crease and a pop of shimmer with this Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shot. Now that I've applied all the powders to the face, I'm going to take the Milani Make It Dewy Setting Spray. This is going to bring life into her skin, make sure those powders melt together. And would it be a Mikayla look without this infamous combo, the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift in a pair of Ardell Wispies? I'm also going to tightline. Now, this is the first time my mom has ever put on false lashes in her entire life, and she slayed in them. They looked so pretty on her. I also added some shimmer liner to the bottom. For the lips, I want to do a natural pink-toned lip. I'm not really going to overline her lips, so I just lined the border and filled them in. Gosh, isn't she gorgeous? But this was the star of the show, this Ciate Glow. This is going to give her that youthful appearance. Okay, guys, here's the before and after. This is what I'm going to look like in 40 years. Are you ready for that? I'm ready for it, because she looks fucking beautiful. I ain't afraid to age.
And this is giving me very much the same vibes of James Charles. Remember how James Charles got very cocky in 2019 after his whole cancellation thing happened and he was able to just get everything back almost like very quickly. James Charles bounced back from that. He got very cocky. He was always throwing shade at the situation, like taking little digs here and there. And then what happened to James Charles? He ended up getting exposed for the exact same shit once again, causing him to have to sit down and tell everyone that he was desperate. But now here we have Mikayla, who is taking nonstop digs, it seems like, at that whole L'Oreal situation. In my opinion, it's kind of like a slap in the face to all the people that support her, because she let a lot of people down with that, just with the way that she handled it and tried to pretend it didn't happen. Basically, a lot of people think that she's just like okaying the fact that she lied, and she's letting everyone know like it's okay to lie as long as there's a paycheck attached to it.
It's the fact for me that Mikayla literally had a video on her TikTok explaining how to lie using mascara and lashes, and then said, how would they know?
Mascara is absolutely incredible. It truly did a phenomenal job. I mean, literally, just look at the difference. So I just lied straight to your face, and you probably believed it. These lashes, totally fake. And that's what brands do. They lie to you about how things work. Would you have known these were false lashes? Maybe not. You're someone who doesn't have a lot of lashes, doesn't know how to apply lashes, or just wants a little lash lift, this video is for you. The gate, let's start by applying 2 coats of your favorite mascara. We want to achieve the fuller lash look. We're going to use the Kiss Lash Couture Faux Lash Extension. They're super affordable, you get a ton of them. The current one I'm using, this is so easy to do. You need a strip lash glue. Going to take one of these lash pieces and get some glue on it. Don't gotta let it dry, give it a quick blow. Literally gonna take the piece and just lay it right on your lashes and press it down. Put about 5 pieces. Then go ahead and apply 1 final coat of mascara. How would they know?
Like, she's putting this in your face. She's telling you what she's doing, and people just refuse to believe it. It'll be really interesting to me to see how Mikayla transitions if they take away TikTok, because her Instagram is nowhere near as big as her TikTok following. I'm sure she'll gain some if TikTok goes down.
I mean, we all watched the Maybelline video that she did with Nikki Tutorials, and she did seem a little bit awkward there for the longer form content. But I think with a lot of work, she would get a very large audience here on YouTube. At least initially, people would come over and subscribe because they would want to get their Mikayla fix. And I could honestly, I don't know if I could see her doing like mainly beauty here on YouTube. I would think that it would be more like lifestyle, and she would start to do like kind of vlogging content and like behind the scenes type of stuff. But I think it could totally be possible for her. I think that she would more so be one of the ones that could be successful on YouTube when they try to switch over, but I do think a lot of them would just kind of fall flat.
See, I think the complete opposite of that. I don't think that it would translate well because the type of content that Mikayla posts, she's not going to be able to replicate that on YouTube this way. It's just not the same.
We also have to think there are shorts over here. I mean, that one channel has been uploading her TikToks for how long now? So she would still be able to make the exact same kind of content. I think it would just take a little bit longer for her to actually build the audience like she would want. I mean, to get to what? She has 14 million people over on TikTok. Don't know if she would get to that over here. I could see her getting to like maybe 4 million.
Well, the caveat with shorts is they're only 60 seconds. Mikayla can't review and do all this different stuff in 60 seconds.
Well, no, a lot of her reviews are a minute. They're like a minute, 2 seconds. But I think that if TikTok actually does go down, they're like trying to implement like 10-minute long videos over there. I saw that they're going to try to go even higher with the amount of time that you can do. I think that YouTube would turn it around and allow people to start doing like 3-minute shorts instead. Because honestly, doing shorts here on YouTube is a great way to get exposure and a great way to build your channel. But getting back to Mikayla throwing shade at the whole LashGate thing, there were people down in her comment section that were like, oh my God, Mikayla, yes, queen, your humor is so funny. Yes, take the power back, all that kind of stuff. And she was liking it and responding to some of them.
What's so funny to me is I did see this comment on the TikTok where she did her mom's makeup, and someone said, at least she kind of admitted to using the Ardell lashes. And someone replied and said, or she's trolling you. And Mikayla liked this, but she didn't respond. I don't think that this is a troll. In my opinion, this is an admission from Mikayla. If she can poke at the situation, she could have at least addressed it. There's a reason why she didn't address that.
I mean, maybe she could get into some trouble because she would be admitting that she's lying on an ad for everyone out there. I know commercials, they do it all the time. They'll put the lashes on, but there's fine print there. There was no fine print on Mikayla's lash thing. So maybe that's like a huge no-no. Maybe L'Oreal can get in trouble too.
I'm sorry, but I have a hard time respecting anyone that can poke fun at a situation and not address it. And Mikayla has just avoided this whole situation like the plague unless she's like poking fun at it or making fun of the situation, and people just enable her and they think it's cute and funny. It's not going to be funny when the FCC does finally come back around because they've been so inundated with this like whole crypto thing. It's gonna circle back around, and when it circles back around and they start eyeballing these TikTokers TikTokers, these YouTubers, and people that don't disclose, this is going to come back and bite her in the ass, because if it's not the lashes she's lying about, I know that there's some undisclosed partnership and other things that she's done.
But also getting back to how we were saying, like, James Charles became very cocky, and that's how this is appearing with Mikayla as well. If she continues to make these jokes and take these digs about the situation, because honestly, she's making a joke about lying to her supporters. She's basically saying, I can lie to you and you're going to be stupid enough to spend your money on whatever the I'm talking about. And honestly, a lot of people spent their money on that mascara after the fact. Like, that shit was sold out.
And a lot of people returned it.
Yes, I heard a lot. There were a lot of returns of that mascara. But I think if she continues to take digs at this and like make jokes here and there, make little snide comments, people are going to become sick and tired of it. And she's going to start to like lose the dedicated followers that she has. They're going to be like, okay.
And would it be a Mikayla look without this infamous combo? The L'Oreal telescopic lift in a pair of Adele.
Okay, honestly, I wasn't gonna say anything about this, like, publicly on TikTok, because I don't like spreading any, like, unnecessary drama, and she obviously got her share, and I don't like talking about people that I don't know. So I held off, but this just, honestly, it's going too far. I feel like you already got away with it. People still love you, and you kind of just let it go right over, and you kind of left like unfazed, which is great for you. But at what expense to then go and kind of joke about lying to the people that support you? That's just where it kind of bothers me, because as a micro beauty influencer myself, it just makes it to where all of the rest of us have to really like prove that we're being honest, when me personally, I always am honest with the people that I share stuff that I love with. I don't want anybody spending their money on something that doesn't genuinely work and that I don't genuinely love. Yes, sometimes things work for me and don't work for other people. However, you just openly joking about lying is like, come on, man, like, you gotta stop, like, while you're ahead. I just feel like at this point, it's really almost like she's rubbing it in her followers' face, which, I mean, I'm sure that's not necessarily her intention. That's just from outside looking in. I just hope, out of respect for fellow influencers, we can all do better.
But in my opinion, if she does continue this way, I think that it could end up hurting her like reputation on social media.
It's a very tight rope when it comes to people's trust. And if you lose that trust, you lose that authenticity, you lose what people think is genuine about you, you're going to lose them. And I think that she's teetering now. I think she's just one small misstep away from really pissing a lot of people off. And I think it's going to be really telling what she does in the future. It's going to be interesting to see how people react to it and how they look at her going forward from this.
And with all that said, everyone, that is it for this video. We hope that you did enjoy it. Please let us know all of your thoughts and opinions. Also, let us know your thoughts and opinions about the fact that the Pentagon has now said that there's possibly an alien like mothership somewhere in our solar system coming towards Earth. Like, I hope that we just don't wake them up with our singing bowl and they heard it like in space. They were like, there's the coordinates, let's go over there.
The quantum entanglement jumped out.
And if you made it this far in this video, please leave us an alien emoji down below, and we will see you guys all in our next video. Bye.